Okay, welcome back. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take my SketchUp model and bring it over to Blender 3D for the game engine. So I went back a step and I undid the push-pull tool. And then I did some of the interior walls. So now I'll just go ahead and do that. And I'll go ahead and I'll push-pull the exterior walls. Then I'll come in here and push-pull some of these. And of course, these won't go up as high. Actually, let me undo that just a moment. Let me go back into top view. Okay, so let me show you how I did the interior walls here. So I have sort of this T shape right here. And again, all I did was I took the line tool and I got it approximate. And watch what happens as soon as I go here. Notice that it fills in that entire spot. And now I can't see anything, but I want to draw a wall here. Well, I could just go ahead and guess it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the selection tool, select that face, hit delete, and the line is still there. Might be tough to see, but it is still there. So now I can go ahead and I can draw the line going all the way over. And again, it does fill up. So I can delete it again, or if I wanted to, I could say, you know what, I think it's right about here, and it goes from here to say here, and I can just eyeball it. And then delete the portions here. And again, I can select this and I can move it. Move it down a little bit, and there we go. Okay, so let's call that done. Save, and let's push-pull this and get it exported over. Okay, so I'm going to push-pull the main outer wall. Then I'll do the inner wall. Now, the inner walls, I want them to be the same height as each other. So see how I just brought that inner one in like that? Now watch this. If I come over to this inner wall and I highlight it with the push-pull tool, and if I double-click on it, it automatically will push-pull the same amount as I did on this one here. Now you will see that some of those are coming up as blue. I'll show you how to reverse those faces. Again, I'm going to go ahead and double click, and that way I get the guaranteed same height. I'll just go in real quickly with my eraser tool and just clean up that little bit of that overlapping line, so that way it's just nice, clean modeling. There we go. And I think everything else is all set. Now you will see that I am getting some extra geometry here because of that. So again, quick erase tool, take care of those. It's one thing I love about SketchUp compared to, say, other 3D geometry or other 3D apps. There we go. And there we are. All right, finish up, and there we go. Okay, so how do we reverse these? So again, you basically take your selection tool and you can go around and shift click and just select faces, and when you've got them all selected, just right mouse click and choose reverse faces. Just go around, find the rest. I'm going to pause while I'm reversing all the other ones. Okay, so there is my finished castle, and again, I could go in here and I could spend a lot of time just making, things like this, which these are barracks, I believe, beds and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't do that here in SketchUp. I would do that in Blender. Let's see, there's a little edge here I could clean up. So I would go through and I'd clean up all the edges. I probably would do things like doorways here, just because it is easier. Again, so if I wanted to put a doorway here, I might go ahead and, so if this is the barracks, I might do a doorway like that, and then do the push-pull tool, just go all the way through. Just because it is, it is easier this way. Whoops, looks like there we go. It's just so much easier to do it here in SketchUp, I believe. So yeah, that kind of stuff is just fun in SketchUp. Okay, so let's do one final save. All right, so now I want to get this over to Blender. Again, the version of Blender that we are using in my class is Blender, it's 2.79b, and that's on a Windows or a Mac, and that's the last version of Blender that included a game engine. And so that's what we're going to use. Okay, so in Blender, I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of my cube by hitting delete. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go back to SketchUp. All right, so I'm going to have nothing selected here. And I'm going to come up here to click on the little folder. I'm going to go to export. And there's only one option. In the free version of SketchUp, you can export an image. So I could export this as a PNG, and this would be an image that I could then upload or print out or share with somebody. But the only 3D model allowed in the free version is called an STL. And that's typically used for 3D printing. And we're not 3D printing this, but it's the only one you can do. All these other ones that are great that Blender can also use, these are locked because you have to upgrade and pay for those. So let's try it. Let's choose STL. And then it's going to just go ahead and download right to my downloads folder. So now I'll go to Blender, and I've got an open Blender session here. And I want to come up here to the File menu, Import, and down here you should see STL. So now I'm going to go look at my Downloads folder, and there's my castlefloorplan.stl. I'll say Import. Let's see what I get. So it looks like I got nothing, but you'll see that I have the axes here, X, Y, and Z. Oh, look at that. There it is. So it is ginormous. And there is a way upon importing that you can play around with the scale so that it imports better. What I like to do, honestly, is I'm just going to press S and I'm just going to scale it on down. Zoom in. Whoa. Zoom in a little bit better. Now you will notice that the origin in Blender is away from the object. So what you can do is in this toolbar over here on the left, and if you don't see it, you can just press T. You're going to see a little pop-up here that says Set Origin, and I'm going to choose Origin to Geometry. And now the origin goes back to the center. I can bring this back over here. There we go, and I can scale it up or down, whatever I want. And check that out. I am really happy with that. And I know that it's extra work to go from one app to another, but with SketchUp being so simple and so easy, and being online, at least the free version, you could do this and model it, and then when you get to a computer that can run Blender, you can then just bring your stuff in. So obviously I'm missing a floor, but I can go ahead and just do Shift-A, add in a ground plane. There we go, there's my ground. Go ahead, put it in. Okay, I could select my lamp. I'll maybe make it a sun lamp. I'll press Z and go to Material. That way I'm getting some shadows. And now if I press P for the game engine, this is what you would actually see in the game engine. So it's not pretty yet, but it's pretty cool, and I got to make it inside SketchUp and bring it over to Blender for free, so pretty awesome. Okay, I hope this works out for you. And thank you very much for joining me during this, and I will see you next time.